YouTube. So today I'm here at an abandoned Burger King, which is about 2 blocks from my house. And the reason why I'm here today is because I want to talk to you about the Chick-Fil-A controversy. This is going to be the future home of Chick-Fil-A, but not if I have anything to say about it. I found out yesterday that this would be a Chick-Fil-A basically by looking at my local Santa Rosa newspaper, and it made me really angry. As you guys know, over the last couple days, there's been this huge controversy about Chick-Fil-A giving $3 million to anti-gay groups. Now, Chick-Fil-A is one of those corporations which me and Bryan do not go to. This is the future home, and I'm going to do everything I can to stop them from coming to this location. And that means writing to my city council members, starting a protest if I have to. That protest idea kind of got me and Bryan into a little bit of a debate, and we wanted to get you guys involved in that debate and maybe give us your idea of, what's appropriate activism and what's inappropriate activism. And I'm definitely looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Okay, so last night I posted a little thing on my Facebook page saying basically that Chick-fil-A is building a store in my neighborhood and it's not going to happen on my watch. And we got a pretty heated debate on my Facebook page about what is appropriate protesting, what isn't appropriate. And the one comment that kind of kicked off me and Bryan debating this topic, I want to read to you real quick. It's from a Facebooker that I really like by the name of Mike, and he says, most are owner-operated franchises, which means your local owner invested his or her money to purchase the franchise months or years ago, before the story blew up. I hate to see someone who possibly invested their life savings get thrown under the bus because of the controversy of the week. The franchise owner has absolutely no say over what the franchise seller does with his or her money, including which, if any, charities he donates to. Protesting would be like picketing Jay and Bryan's house because they purchased a car from a car dealer who donated to a bad charity. The wrong person gets hurt. Boycotts almost always do that. As a business owner myself, I am just suggesting that if you're really serious about protesting, please research who the real owner of your local store is before you start shooting blindly. And I'd like to say to that is, I don't feel, there are corporations in this country that are anti-gay. ExxonMobil, there's a bunch of local restaurants here in Santa Rosa that me and Bryan do not go to because they gave money to Prop 8. So there is a difference between a corporation that has anti-gay practices and a corporation like Chick-fil-A who actually donates money to anti-gay groups. Chick-fil-A has given $3 million over the last couple of years to anti-gay groups that are actively working against our legislation to hurt our families. To me, there's a huge difference. The Chick-fil-A controversy is not a new controversy. It's been going on for like the last 10 years that they're an anti-gay organization that gives to anti-gay groups. It just happened to pop up into the news because they've been getting some pressure from different organizations about their views and their values. And the president, by the name of, I don't want to get his name wrong, Dan Cathy, basically says, you know what? We're guilty as charged. We're a family values restaurant and we don't believe in gay marriage and gay rights. So we give to organizations that work against those causes. That's why the controversy re-exploded. It's not a new controversy, and anybody who buys a franchise in Chick-fil-A has a really good understanding about the values of that company. It's not like this poor businessman put his life savings into this organization and then me picketing outside of his restaurant is going to cause him some type of unknown harm.
Welcome to Nightline, and I'm Dan Rather. No, well, I'm not really Dan Rather, but now it's my turn to give my point of view. For the most part, I've been in absolute agreement with Jay on the whole Chick-fil-A thing because they are guilty as charged and they deserve whatever comes to them. But when they read that comment on Facebook, I thought about it a little bit, and I thought about this person who more than likely had to go through months of making a business plan, filing for whatever loans he might need, going through the approval processes, and all of that could have happened a long time before all of this stuff with Chick-fil-A came to light. So somewhere out there might be a business owner whose personal politics might not agree with the franchise that he's bought into. Now, there have been those people on Facebook who have claimed that, well, if that's true, then he didn't do his due diligence. And that's a valid point too. But my point of view is, here's an individual whose politics may not agree. Perhaps we reach out to that person first and see what his politics are. Because it could be possible that if his politics don't agree with the parent company, that maybe he could do something to correct that. Maybe he could donate some of his food to pro-gay events. He could do things that actively support the gay community and make a statement that would counter what the parent company does. Now, I don't know if that's even possible or allowable once you purchase into the Chick-fil-A name. All I'm saying is that here's an individual with a family of his own, probably, who is caught in the crossfire of what is, I don't want to use the term war, but it's sort of the same sort of analogy, that here's a person who may not necessarily be involved in the conflict who's getting collateral damage from it. So that's my point of view. It's not that Chick-fil-A doesn't deserve exactly what they get. It's that if we do it, it should be reasoned, and we should try to make as little damage to people standing on the outside of the conflict as possible. Because the object is not to hurt people. It's to help change the world we live in and try to make it a better place.
Okay, Bryan has a big heart, and he tends to use his heart sometimes before he uses his head. And this is where me and Bryan got into a huge debate last night. Let's say that Chick-fil-A on Mendocino Avenue, where I live, is 100% pro-gay rights. The owner is all about gay rights and completely supportive of my right to marry and have a family and everything else that comes with gay rights. He basically, 15% of all the profits that he makes from that location goes to the headquarters, to a company that actively supports anti-gay groups. So for me, I understand that maybe he's caught in the crossfire, but I'm kind of like, too bad. Because, when you open up a chain of restaurant under a corporate umbrella, which is anti-gay and works actively to hurt our families, you buy into that mentality. And I've had friends tell me that, they've had family members try to open up a Chick-fil-A, and it was a very conservative Christian mentality when they went in through the application process. So basically, in order to open a Chick-fil-A, all you need is $5,000. You donate $5,000 to the corporate chain, and then they help you build the restaurant, and then 15% of any profits you make go to the corporate headquarters. So to me, by allowing this Chick-fil-A to open up in my neighborhood without any type of protest, without any type of me and my community saying we don't agree with your values, is allowing 15% of, even if it is a gay-friendly Chick-fil-A, to go to a corporate elite that basically is actively hurting gay people. So I disagree with the philosophy that somebody, a local businessman, can be hurt by opening up this type of restaurant in my neighborhood. I would not support them even if they were pro-gay. I think it's important that we as a community stand up against these corporations. And if this Chick-fil-A owner really is against the corporate's policies, then they need to do something about it. They need to say, hey, you're costing me business. And if all the Chick-fil-A's around the country get together and put pressure on the corporate elite, they'll stop their policies of giving money to anti-gay groups. That's his responsibility. It's not my responsibility to make him do the right thing. I'll let Bryan have the last word, and I'll talk to you soon, YouTube.
Okay, YouTube, so we've both made our points, and I just want to say that I'm not the guy standing here defending Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A deserves what it gets, and as far as I'm concerned, it's game on with them. I don't want to see other people caught up in that crossfire. So, the decision of to protest or not to protest is never as simple as it may sound, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say. See you later, YouTube.